My name is Kelsey Gillette. I'm a program coordinator in the Office of International Education at SUNY Oswego. And this info session that we have today is about our internship program in the Czech Republic in a town called Brno. And it's also affiliated with Maastricht University. And today we have Dr. Michael Elavsky with us today, who is the director of the internship program. And he's going to show us some more about his program over there, and hopefully this will answer some questions that you have about the program and give you a better idea of what to look at. So I'll pass it on to you.
Thank you very much, Kelsey. I appreciate it. A little bit of background about me. I don't have a Czech accent because I'm actually American. I was formerly tenured at Penn State University in America. My focus was international communications. And this idea to start this program where I am now in the Czech Republic comes from my research interests, which were about the music industry here in the Czech Republic and actually the Eastern sort of European, Central European sector after the fall of communism. And also, quite honestly, the teachers that I spoke with and the students that I spoke with at Penn State told me a lot about the demands of students and the needs of students to have internships as increasingly as part of their um, educational experience. I actually started taking trips over to the Czech Republic to develop this idea in 2008. The first trip I took had 5 people on it. By the time I finished at Penn State, which is 2016, and ran my last trip, we had 42 students. And so I could tell that what I was doing was definitely attracting students in particular ways. But the one thing that was missing was the internship component. So what I did is I actually started this program and I run it myself. I'm a mentor in the program. I am an academic in the Maastricht University, which it's affiliated with. And of course, I have 25 years of in-country experience, which I utilize to try and give any student who participates in the program a deeper and more holistic and sort of say immersive experience in study abroad. So let's talk a little bit about what that is. There's actually a couple of components to what we offer. The first is a semester-long program where you come and you study for a semester. It's a boutique program that I run. So we're not a factory like some of the larger ones, ISIP and so forth, where there may have, I don't know, 200, 300 American students there. I chose Brno, Czech Republic, and I'll show you in a moment when I show my slideshow where that is, about 2 hours from Prague. I chose it specifically because it's a big city, but also it offers an immersive engagement that gets students out of their comfort zone and gives them actually more opportunities because they are going in spaces, organizations, and school sort of settings that will give them a bigger feel and a better feel of what it means to study abroad and learn abroad. And it's also a really cool town. So I'll talk about that when I start showing you the pictures. The semester program generally runs in the fall from mid-September till December. You go home before Christmas. And then in the spring again from February until May. And it's traditional study abroad. You take classes. The only change is that I teach a capstone course on globalization. So for example, this semester we have students from 15 different countries, and you are engaged in a discussion about how your major with other people interacts with their perspectives and the ways in which they see the world from their cultural viewpoints. And we discuss this phenomena called globalization as a function of understanding your experience abroad. And then probably what's most appealing to the students is the fact that we tailor our internships and provide real experience for the student while they're in Brno in ways that I have been told generally students don't get those type of opportunities in the United States. And again, I can't say for everybody, for sure, but I can say that it goes beyond the internship and skills that you learn and actually gives you a more holistic experience about what it means to work in a foreign environment and understand corporate cultures outside and nonprofit cultures and institutional cultures outside of your own sort of native background. So maybe what I'll do is, since I'm now the host, I'll pop up the slideshow and we'll run through some more details. We also have a summer program, but I'm not going to focus on that now. It's a course that we will run this semester, we hope, in the summer, but SUNY unfortunately is not able to participate in that. So in the following summer, we hope that will be open to you all. It's just really generally one course, and we also offer internships over the summer as well. But since that's off limits for us now, let's talk a little bit about what might be possible for the fall. And let me see if I can pull that up. And I'll share my screen in just a moment here. share my screen and this one and share. Okay, so let me do slideshow from the beginning. So the name of the program is the Czechmates program. It was a name that is kind of corny, I thought, but when I started the program at Penn State, most of the students really took to it and it's memorable. And so from that standpoint, I decided to keep it. You're right, as it was brought up to us earlier by some students that were here, it's not a program that's very well known right now because it is just 3 or 4 years old and we've been building. We have had about 55 or 60 students in the semester program so far. But we're trying to get the word out more. And we, of course, are looking for students who are up to this type of a challenge because, our motto is we study abroad, but we're asking you to go beyond. And what I mean by that is to ask more of yourself so that you get more out of that experience. And so this is really where we're heading from. And as I said to you, it takes place in a town called Brno. Brno is a city of 500,000 people. But the beautiful thing about it is that it is not necessarily a tourist town. It has all the amenities of a cosmopolitan city as a startup hub and as a place where there are international corporations and international networks and connections with institutions there. There are NGOs there. There are a lot of students there because it's 5-university town. But as you're looking at here, this is the center square, and it has that traditional ambiance of being able to lose yourself in a small European sort of center that gives you a sense of it's your own, and you have your coffee and you have your spaces that you can then sort of make Brno your home away from home. This is what my students have told me. It's a mix of the cosmopolitan, it's a mix of the local, and I think that's what makes it a really unique city. The one thing it's not is a tourist hub. And for that reason, you are able in some ways to be able to disappear in the city and not feel like the foreigner who is always being asked to buy something or hawking something to you. It's a city that is actually a city that you make your own. So I have a philosophy as to why I do this. And this comes from a quote from, well, it doesn't really matter who it comes from. It's a guy named Mencken. It doesn't really matter. But the question is to you, why go abroad? And I think when we go abroad, there's a couple of reasons why we go abroad. And one is that we travel to see sort of what is there. And when we do that, we often don't necessarily understand where we are at a deeper level. And so, as I said here, the traveler sees what he sees, the tourist sees what he has come to see. I think that's really important. And below here is a town in the Czech Republic called Ostrava. It's the sister city of Pittsburgh. And it's when I first came here and realized that it wasn't about coming to see the sights and the beauty, but it was about getting to know the people and the culture at a deeper level. And from that experience, I lived there for 2.5 years. I realized what I wanted to do, which is start a program where the people that I would work with, the students that would come, would have a similar experience, but would have me as a mentor to allow that sense of security and guidance that maybe I didn't quite have as much, and allow them to yet discover this country and this experience on their own. G.K. Chesterton was it. So I just realized I think I'm showing you a wrong slide, but that's okay. We can go forward. I think it should still work. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to go to the other one because I think it's shorter and it gets more to the point. I apologize for that. This is what happens when you have 2 slide shows open. So let's do this again. Saw that. And let's go where the Czech Republic is. It's in Central Europe. And in Central Europe, again, you get to that interesting space that people know about it, but they don't really know about it. It's not Venice, it's not Barcelona, it's not London, it's Prague, which is of course a very popular destination, but we're going to a place called Brno. In Brno, this is the castle on the hill, and I'll give you some more contemporary pictures in just a moment. But the things that I think set our program apart is, one, by being in Brno, we're able to do something a little bit different, which is to say, we offer selective admission. So working with me closely is the way for us to determine if this program is actually right for you. We don't want you to go on a program that maybe is going to ask you to be more proactive than you're comfortable with. On the other hand, we do believe that by pushing yourself, there's tremendous growth that's potentially there. But to be completely honest, we also know that a lot of my friends, at least back in the day, wanted to go abroad and just drink their way across Europe. And unfortunately, if that's the way you want to go, I would encourage you to find another program because this one probably won't be for you. Sure, we enjoy tasting the surrounding offerings. We enjoy having fun. but this asks a little bit more of you. And so for that reason, we would ask that you would talk with us to see if this program is really going to be a fit for you. The mentored internships are something that I am a part of. We talk with you about your interests. We have many sites and partners that range from Czech television to fashion houses to NGOs that work with women in domestic abuse situations, to immigration policy, to the government. I mean, again, a wide range of communications and other options for you. And so these mentored internships are tailored to the needs of the company and you. We selectively put you together, make sure that it's a good fit for you. And then what we end up doing is we work with you through the semester to make sure that the goals of both the organization and you are met. And again, when I tell you a little bit about the internships, we'll delve a little bit deeper into that relationship. We ask you to get involved in immersive study. Brno is not a destination where lots of Americans go. There are a lot of foreigners here, but not a lot of Americans. On average, there's about 40 here every semester, 50 here every semester, which means it's possible you can go through, because it's a big university, your semester with only meeting a few of them. Some people appreciate that. Some people like to be in American bubbles. This gives you an option to have both, and we like that. The immersive study takes you so that you leave here with the opportunity of knowing locals, because we work in this program to make sure that you get to know them, not only in my class, not only in the internship, but also in the fact that you're in Brno, and it's a more immersive experience. And lastly, 3 things to talk about quickly: experiential learning, which is to say you are a part of your learning. We talk about what you want to get out of this program, and we find ways through your classes, your travel, and the experience of the internship to make it happen. We don't just talk about it. And the engaged travel is the fact that we encourage you, post-COVID, we hope, for you to be able to take advantage of all of the places that are around us. Brno sits within 4 hours, various directions. You can get to Prague, you can get to Vienna, you can get to Budapest, you can get to Bratislava, and you can get to Krakow. All of those are weekend trips from Brno, cheap by a bus. There is airport from Vienna that can take you all around Europe fairly cheaply. The train is also in Brno. So there's tremendous opportunities for you to be able to engage the sort of sites and capitals that you have long heard of and want to visit. And our goal is for us is to leave a lifelong impact. I want you to come back strong and feeling like you've really experienced and grown in a study abroad program that has set you up to be very successful when you come home in a way that will be lifelong. We have a website, www.czechmates.org. We have the Facebook page, which is there, czechmates.org. And of course, this is the first time I'll show you my email, cme@czechmates.org. If you're looking for more information, you'll find it at all 3 of these spaces. And I'll come back to show these to you later if you're interested. The one thing about Brno is, as I said, it's a mix of the old and the new. So this is the castle that sits on the hill to the left, and that's a close-up of one of the churches that's in the town. But of course, down below and to the left is Maastricht University, which I'm affiliated with. This is the Faculty of Social Sciences. And of course, on the right is the more modern buildings in Maastricht University, where they have the human sciences and other schools of psychology and so forth. And so again, you get a mix of the local and you get a mix of the cosmopolitan, the mix of the old and the mix of the new. And that's, to me, part of the draw. Nature is close by. It sits about 20-30 minutes from the wine region. These are pictures from the various student engagements that we've had. This is one of the, if you look up on the left-hand side, you see that this is one of the sort of street life. And of course, in 2016, the city of Brno was chosen by the New York Times as a very important place to visit, top 50 for the year, because of its food culture and because of its sort of homegrown sensibility.
Is it just me or did he freeze?
I think you froze.
It comes again, a lifelong friendship. I'm sorry, what?
Are you there? You froze for a second on us. So we heard you say about the food culture, and then we lost you.
Okay, sorry about that. We're dealing with a number of my family members who are all on, of course, and so our internet band is being pushed about. So the people down below are former students that I had the opportunity to work with. And one of the things I like about it is it gives me an opportunity to get to know them, and we all get to know each other in a closer way because we're all focused in this program to benefit and help each other and work our way through this wonderful experience together. And it's been a real pleasure to work with them and mentor them in really strong ways. Finally, this is a picture again from right outside of town. So there's access to nature, there's access to sport, there's access to the wine region, there's access to, again, so many things that aren't just the city that make it, again, a special place to visit. Now let's talk about the internships. These are all of the spaces where we have access to partners. Public relations, advertising, marketing, social justice, all of this. This is not all of them though, because we often tailor it to new business partners. So we have some that are here that have not really been listed that I'm going to be using this summer for the first time. I vet them. I make sure that the setup is going to work not only for the company and for the intern. And then we have a seminar where during the internship, every week we're meeting as a group, although everybody has different internships, and we talk about what the experience is bringing. Initially, it's culture shock sometimes. Oh my God, we're not in Kansas anymore. This is hard. Getting to know the city, getting to know the culture, getting to know the place. We walk ourselves through that. By the middle of the semester, we're generally talking about the projects because at the end of the internship, you will have deliverables. You will have something that you can deliver to these companies that you can point to afterwards and say, I created that, that's my idea. Now, for some people, that's a wonderful opportunity. For some people, it scares the hell out of them. And I can tell you, I've had students who have shown up at IBM, AT&T, the places that we've had, and the first day they're told, okay, so you have 3 projects, choose one. The person chooses it and says, okay, come back Friday, whiteboard it and tell us how you're going to solve it. And they freak out. Well, that's our role. Our role is to say, don't freak out. You're up to this. We can do it. And we bring you into that seminar and we talk about what's going to happen and how you're going to accomplish it. This is the real world. This is what you're going to do. We don't hold your hand. We don't walk you through it, but we encourage you and nurture you and work with you to make sure that you find the solutions to your problems that you have, perhaps with the organization, and solutions to the things that you need to get done. One more thing I'll say about the internships. Every student should get out of an internship what they want, which is to say, we talk about what you need for your resume, for your skill set, for your learning. And we make sure that part of the internship will attest and attend to that, right? Certainly the organization will want you to do something. I promise you, it will not be get coffee and make copies. Ultimately, they will ask you to do something oftentimes with your own Native American or Native English skills. Social media can be a part of that, or some forms of communication. And then we work away where their needs and your needs are met as well, so that part of your deliverables focus on things that you want to develop. And ultimately, what we end up doing is at the end, wrapping up to make sure your deliverables get in, and finally do the things that I think are really important, which is the closeout. Things like, how do you get a letter of recommendation from a foreign place? Because it's not going to have the same style as an American office. So you want to make sure that it's useful. We go through mock interviews. We talk about your resume. How do you represent what you did? We have a way in which we give public presentations, short, pithy presentations, so you have your, what we say, elevator pitch together. And the goal is for you to really make sense of it all, though you probably won't until you go home. But to give you as much as we can to get you in a space to really understand what exactly you got out of in this incredibly quick and powerful time. As I said here, we have NGOs, we have journalism, we have sports, we have a number of places, video games. And if you look to the right, this is where Brno is located. Again, Prague close by, Vienna close by, Bratislava close by, but it sits in a beautiful, lush region of the Czech Republic, which is absolutely wonderful to escape to. Again, more of our programs that we've used most recently, Czech television, doing broadcast journalism, IBM, the second largest art gallery in the world, a hockey club, women's and men's basketball leagues. Really, it comes down to the student. And we have one student right now who's going to be doing research in neuroscience for Maastricht University this summer, along with working with an advocacy group in Prague. So again, not people that I would have worked with previously, but when I reached out to the partners, we were able to create a program that fits the students' needs and desires. And of course, the people are very interested as well in working with the expertise. Oh, did I freeze again? No, okay, it just said I was unstable. Okay, so let's wrap this up. What I would say is if you want to learn more, go to czechmates.org. and the Facebook page. Clearly, your first step is to contact Kelsey, and you have her email here. And again, you can see her face. So if you're walking by the office, you can stop in and say, I want to talk to Kelsey. We have had students from SUNY schools that have been with us, so we're happy to pass on their information and let them talk about their experiences with me. And most important, to reach out to me if you have questions about finding if this program and something we haven't answered is right for you, or any concerns you might have. Kelsey can probably answer most of your questions, but in terms of on the ground and sort of information related to the program that might go beyond sort of the informational, more the personal, experiential, happy to talk to you, happy to schedule a virtual engagement, and happy to provide whatever else I can to give you insights. And again, we want to make sure that the program is right for you. If you decide not to go on my program, we're fine with that, but do study abroad. Study abroad is absolutely essential. It unfortunately came to me quite late, but it's now my life's passion. I look forward to talking with anyone who might be interested, and most of all, encourage you, for those who may not be in my program, to nonetheless find a place to go and stretch your learning in ways that go beyond the place you came from.